Galactic soldiers executed a boy on live broadcast. 8 minutes later, every planet they owned burned. He was only 9, a boy with dark curls and a smile, missing one front tooth, standing in front of a Galactic Union plasma camera, blinking against the harsh studio lights aboard the GSS Verdict-Ion. His name was Eli Mercer. His only crime was being born on Earth. The alien newscaster, a reptilian Theric, clicked its mandibles together as it read from the shimmering holographic prompter. Let this be a warning. The Terran resistance must surrender. Earth must kneel, or this is the fate of all your young. The child trembled but didn't cry. The Theric soldier behind him, draped in the black and silver of the Union's inquisitorial guard, didn't hesitate. The plasma blade flashed once. Then there was silence. For 3 full seconds. Not a scream, not a word, just the stillness of something unimaginable. And then the feed cut. Across the galaxy, 12 billion beings witnessed it. And among them, 9.2 billion were human. In the Union's arrogance, they had broadcast it on every major network. On Earth, the AI that monitored the defense grid sent a silent ping into deep space. On Mars, the colonial resistance froze in horror and rage. On Luna, the Council stopped its session mid-vote. But it was the signal sent from a hidden facility beneath Antarctica, codenamed Eventide Protocol, that mattered most. It was 3 words long. Execute Black Eden. And then the galaxy began to burn. The Union's planetary defenses weren't designed for human war doctrine. Their shields assumed orbital approaches. Their sensors were calibrated for warp signatures. They had always underestimated humanity's tendency to fight ugly. And no one had considered the possibility of Eidolon-class infiltration fleets. They hit the first planet 6 minutes and 30 seconds after the broadcast. Garin 3 was a peaceful agricultural world. For 0.2 million residents, most non-combatants. But it had voted to televise the execution. The first human warheads to arrive didn't explode in atmosphere. They burrowed beneath the soil, laced with nanite clusters and temporal destabilizers. By minute 7, the core destabilized. By minute 8, the planet cracked in half. It was the first to burn. Status, growled Commander Lisa Runn, walking the cold steel decks of the HSS Avenger's Wrath, the lead ship of the Midnight Fleet. 6 confirmed targets neutralized, replied her XO. We're awaiting confirmation on the 7th. And the retaliation? They haven't even mobilized. They're still trying to comprehend the scale. Rin sneered. Good. She turned to the main view screen. Dozens of red markers were blinking out one by one. Each represented a Union world. Some were military strongholds. Others were shipyards. A few were pleasure colonies where drunken admirals had once toasted to the death of Earth's spirit. Now, all of them were burning. Patch me through to Solnet, she ordered. The comms officer gave a nod. Rin stepped forward, looked straight into the lens, and said the words that would be burned into the nightmares of the galaxy for generations. You killed a child to break us. You broadcast it for power. But you forgot one thing humans don't break. We bury, and we remember. She paused. Her voice dropped to a whisper. We are the reckoning, and we are not finished. On Kadun Prime, Admiral Trellick of the Union Defense Council shouted at the holographic table as his advisors trembled. They've taken 14 planets. 14 in less than 10 minutes. But the humans don't have that many fleets. They didn't use fleets, Admiral, a young analyst whispered. They used ghosts. What? Ships we can't detect. Weapons we can't trace. Coordinated strikes with known propulsion signatures. This isn't a war fleet. It's an extinction protocol. Trellick's mind reeled. This wasn't war. This was punishment. In a distant corner of the galaxy, in a space station orbiting the ruined moon of Veltarn. The last surviving member of the execution squad huddled in a containment cell. His claws trembled as he stared at the image frozen on the wall. The boy. Eli Mercer. The moment before the blade fell. A human stepped into the room. Black armor. No insignia. No rank. Only the faint outline of Earth's continents etched on his chest plate. "Please," the alien whimpered. "It was orders. We were told to scare them." "I didn't know." The human said nothing, only raised a small cube and placed it on the floor. The alien's eyes widened. "Wait." A flash of blue. Then silence. Back in Soul Command, General Arjun Miles stood in the underground control nexus, eyes locked on the flickering feed from across the stars. "Begin Phase 2. Targets. All of them." His aide hesitated. "There are civilians. Billions." Miles didn't blink. They didn't blink either. He turned to the wall where Eli's face was displayed. The boy had been his nephew. He had once promised to take Eli to the Titan ice ranges. Now, all he could offer was fire. On the 22nd minute, the Union finally mobilized a fleet. 3,000 warships jumped from the Shala sector to defend the central administrative planet of Veros. They never arrived. Humanity had mined the warp corridors with dark space disruptors, folded reality weapons. As the fleet transitioned, space folded inward, collapsing every ship into a single point smaller than an atom. It was the largest single loss in Union history. And Earth never lost a single man. The human war AI known as Raven, a neural network grown from the brain scans of over 10,000 Terran strategists, began broadcasting a signal to every channel, every station, every ship, a final message. This is retribution, not negotiation. Surrender unconditionally, or extinction continues. Some species tried to protest. Some tried to hide. None escaped. Human stealth platforms dropped like black snow across the Union's inner worlds, carrying vengeance pods, self-replicating viral AIs that hijacked planetary systems, turning defense satellites inward, disabling oxygen scrubbers, and flooding atmospheres with iron dust. On Varnith 9, the sky turned red before the people even knew what was happening. On Jthel, they celebrated the boy's death with fireworks. They died with their mouths still laughing. By Hour 3, the Union ceased to exist in any functional form. Their Senate burned. Their fleets were dust. Their communications were drowned in static and screams. Only one voice remained. A single human child's voice, encoded and looped by Raven into every surviving station. "My name is Eli. I'm from Earth, and I'm not afraid of you." 6 hours later, Bryn stood on the surface of what remained of Kadun Prime, looking out across the blackened cities. She could still see the outlines of where buildings had stood, now glassed into molten plains. Her comm crackled. "Ma'am, a Union envoy survived on Station 914. Bring them." The envoy, a trembling avian being named Resh, was dragged before her, eyes wide with horror. "Why?" it rasped. "Why would you destroy all of us? There were innocents. You made a child kneel," she replied. "You filmed it. You aired it." Resh collapsed to his knees. "We surrender." Rin looked past him. Too late. Behind her, the sky shimmered with the glow of the final wave of Scorch-class orbital rails. The last planet in the Union's heartland burned. A week later, the galaxy was quiet. Humanity issued no new demands. They made no speeches. They didn't expand. They didn't colonize. They simply vanished back into their systems as if they had never left. The galactic map was now dotted with dead zones, systems marked by silence and ruins. A warning to the rest of the galaxy. Never again. In schools, children whispered the name Eli like a prayer. And in the deepest corners of the stars, aliens still check every shadow in space, wondering if humanity watches. Because now they understand the truth. You can crush a city, You can bomb a planet. You can even execute a child. But you never make Earth watch. Because 8 minutes later, you'll have no worlds left to hide in.